As you guys may or may not know, I was a transfer student. My first 2 years, I went from a community college here in the Northern Virginia area, which is where I'm originally from, and I transferred to a 4-year university, which is Virginia Tech. And when I was in the community college, my GPA was about a 3.4, approximately 3.5. But then after I transferred to Virginia Tech, which is a 4-year university, it's a big school, there's a lot of really good engineering programs there. And so the first semester, I remember it really kicked my ass. So the first semester, I remember towards the end, I ended up with a 2.7. And if you really think about it, going from a 3.5, technically that I had at a community college, going down to a 2.7 was, I want to say that it was a huge shock to me personally. And I think that the mistake that I made my first semester was the fact that I was a little too confident. I really underestimated the amount of time and work that I was expected to put in a 4-year university, and so I ended up not doing well. So if you are in the same situation or in a similar situation where you just perhaps finished a semester that you wish you could have done just a little better, or maybe some unexpected things happened along the way, maybe who knows what could have happened. The fact of the matter is that now you're in a situation that you did not expect to be in compared to the beginning of the semester. So how do you bounce back from this situation? How do you recover from a bad semester and perhaps a semester of bad grades or a semester that you wish could have been a little better? Now, the first thing that I want to mention here, because I know exactly what you're talking about, I know exactly how you're feeling, the first thing I want to say is that the semester is over, right? The semester is over. What's done is done in the past, and the only thing that you can do now is focus on what's coming up ahead. You need to plan forward. You need to know, okay, what are the classes that you're taking? How do you actually do better next semester? And obviously the first thing to notice, and the obvious one to you, may be that you cannot make the same mistakes that you made in the past. That's the pretty obvious one. Again, I don't mean to be redundant, but but now, so here is how I approach this same situation in the past. So we all know that there's approximately, depending on what school you go to, there's at least 10 weeks in a semester, right? Depending on what school you go to, between 10 and 16 weeks. And we know, the fact of the matter is that we know that in the beginning of the semester, things are going to be relatively easier than at the end of the semester for engineering students. As the semester goes on, things get more complicated. You start getting group projects, you start getting multiple tests on the same day. And so what I'm saying here is that in the beginning of the semester, what I'm getting at, you want to make sure that you do as best as you can. You do not want to slack off in the beginning of the semester. You don't just want to party too much that you say, oh, it's really easy right now, so I'm just going to lay back and really just kind of like wing my tests or wing my quizzes, not do my homework. So that's the first thing that I want to hone in on, is that you have to capitalize on the easy part of the semester, and that is the beginning of it, the first 4, 5, 6 weeks maybe. Because towards the end, if you happen to slip a little bit and you happen to fail a couple of tests here and there, or maybe you can't turn in a homework and your grade takes a hit, then you're still okay. The worst thing that you can do, as you can imagine, is slack off in the beginning of the semester, not really put in the work that you should put in, and then when things get complicated, you make this attempt to really get yourself back together, and sometimes it just ends up not working out well. So in the grand scheme of things, do not dwell on the last semester. Learn from your mistakes. Do not make the same mistakes as you did in the past. Focus on what you can control, most importantly, and what you can control now is what's coming up ahead of you. Now, the next thing that I want you to take away from this video is the fact that you need to do well in the beginning of the semester and capitalize on the easy classes, non-engineering classes especially, so that way you can raise your GPA and increase your overall grades for not just for your Eng major, but also for your cumulative GPA. And most importantly, of course, do well in the beginning of the semester for your engineering classes, Eng major, so that if later on you do you mess up a little bit, like you're still okay. So these are all the things that I personally did when I was in engineering school, and it helped me out very, very much. So with all that being said, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you go kill it next semester. Peace.